Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Juju and we're going to do another reaction video. In today's video we are going to be discussing and looking into monitoring spirits. Now y'all need to know about monitoring spirits. If you don't already know, this is definitely something that I had to be put on to, okay, because I was surrounded by them and it was literally fucking up my life. So if you have monitoring spirits around you, you may be going through some type of downfall. You may be feeling, just off with your energy, off with your manifestations. You may be feeling disconnected from God in some way, shape, or form. And that's because you have monitoring spirits around you. These are people who want to be in your energy. They want to be your friend, but they're not really your friend. They're not really your supporter. They don't value you, or they value the things that you have, the things that you say, the things that you do, but they don't value you. They don't want to see it on you. They don't want to see it for you. Yeah, they're just haters. And they have a demonic possession. They have a demonic spirit attached to them, and that is the monitoring spirit. So let's go ahead into it and put y'all on to some game so that we can all protect ourselves, protect our energy, and move onward and upward. Let's go.
Monitoring spirits are a real thing. That's not just a trend. People who like you the least will watch you the most. They are on the front line. They're the first ones trying to figure out what's going on with you. They can't wait to rejoice at your pain. They cannot wait to make any downfall of yours a kiki. They can't wait to clap while you cry. All that tells you is that they need healing and they are still hurting. That should not affect you. Okay, I posted that my door got kicked in at 2 a.m. while me and my 8-year-old daughter was in here, and I got a message like this. All that lets me know is this person watches me like a hawk in the sky. They are the first to figure out what's going on with me. It ain't even been a whole 3 days. Okay, it also lets me know that they're still hurting. And even the people who don't like me and rejoice at my pain, at my downfall, those people, I want them to heal too. I want you to schedule a session with the lady. I want you to get the deliverance and the healing and the restoration that already has your name on it. Go get you some healing. I'm not even being funny right now. Please go get you some healing quickly.
For real, y'all, like, it is really a problem, and a lot of people don't know that they have monitoring spirits. For a lot of people, they show up as generational demons, okay? They show up as generational curses. They mama was nosy, they grandmama was nosy, they uncle was nosy, the pop was nosy, everybody just nosy, all right? And then on top of that, hateful in terms of the things that they perceive and the things that they see. So they just go around monitoring people, attaching themselves to people. Usually they're also energy vampires as well, so look out for that.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Y'all, me too. And I was once this girl. I was once that friend, thinking that these people were my friends, these people were my supporters, and the whole entire time it's like, hold on. You don't like my stuff, you don't share my stuff, you don't actually uplift anything that I'm doing, you don't actually support anything that I'm doing. You gotta be wary, okay? Especially when people, listen, we'll get into it. Let's just keep going.
Bro, they're never going to say anything, bro. They are monitoring spirits, okay? Monitoring spirits. They are just monitoring you. They just watch. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to congratulate you on nothing. They don't want to check up on you. They'll just watch you. Like, they'll just look at what you're doing. And that's why story views get a lot more views than it does likes. There's a lot of people just looking. And it's okay to look, but there's never an interaction. There's never a how are you? There's never a I see what you're doing, keep it up. And don't expect that, because we're in an age now where people are literally just keeping up with you to watch you fall. Right? They're keeping up with you to see if you're going to achieve the things that you said you were going to achieve, without encouraging you, without uplifting you, without saying, hey, I know you're on a difficult journey, keep going. They just want to see you fail. They just want to monitor you. And to me, that's the weirdest thing. I'm one of the first people to congratulate people, to uplift people, to say, hey, bro, I see you, keep going. To randomly text somebody in my life, or randomly call somebody and say, hey, we haven't talked in a minute. I just want you to know I love you, and keep going. It doesn't hurt to support. It costs 0 cents to do that. But we live in a different time, man. Watch out for the monitoring spirits. Y'all stay safe.
Yeah, so I'm that type of friend and family member, and I'm just that type of person. And not only that, like, yeah, especially when you know a person's story, their backstory, where how God has brought them over and out, how they've pulled themselves over and out, right? You definitely should want to uplift somebody, let them know that you're proud, just give them that support, let them know that you see them, especially when you do see them, especially when you see them hitting milestones, making achievements, hitting their goals and stuff like that. But for a lot of people, they're so envious, they're so jealous, and again, they have that attachment to them, that monitoring spirit attached to their bloodline. They feel like them uplifting you is taking something away from you. And usually a lot of the times what monitoring spirits will be doing in the background, those are the people that have you in the group chat. Let me take a picture, let me screenshot this and send it to my girls, put it in the group chat, right? So they're a lot of the times they're very much so low vibrational. They're attached to the spirit of gossip, of envy, of jealousy, of hatred, those lower vibrational emotions. And so that's why they look at you, they'll watch you, but they're not supporting you, because that goes against their agenda. That goes against that demon that's running them. And so for me in particular, I had to wake up and realize, hey, this is my energy, but I'm around people who cannot reciprocate that energy, or that's just not simply their energy. They haven't learned that yet, or whatever the case is. They're just a monitoring spirit. They're not here to help me. They're not here to reciprocate, quite frankly, quite literally. And so sometimes that's the revelation that we need to have in life. And it is sad, but you got to get out of alignment with what's not in alignment with you, so you can get in alignment with what and who is.
I don't know about y'all, but like when it comes to me, it's like certain stuff I don't want attached to me. Like certain people I just don't want like no dealings with. When I say I want done, dead, wash my hands with it. Like even with, I see some people say like I'm gonna keep certain people around. They can watch me on social media because I want them to see how I'm doing. I don't. I don't want you to see nothing that I got going on, because I don't think people realize, like when you're like me, I feel like I'm an empath. So you feel people's energy. You just feel when stuff is off. I don't want that hate and monitoring weird spirit watching me. Like they say, "Ho, why'd you here?" People will really sit back just to see what you got going on. And I really feel this way towards Instagram. The amount of people who never interact with a post, people be like, oh, it's not that serious. They don't like you. Because me personally, even if I don't know a person, if you post a cute picture, if you post a quote that's relatable, I'm going to like it at least. I'm going to comment. Like, why am I following you if I don't interact with nothing that you got going on? I feel like that's an ego thing when people want people to just sit back and see what they got going on. They make people feel like they got people watching them. I don't want you watching me. If anything, I'm finna revoke that access from you. I am seriously gonna go through my social medias and just do like an unfollowing spree, because that weird ass sitting back, clocking, pocket watching, just negative energy, that don't align with me. That don't sit right with my spirit. I don't move like that. And I don't want nothing like that attached to me. So if I feel that from you, if I get that vibe from you, it ain't nothing personal, baby. But you gotta go. I'd be damned if you just go sit back and watch me. We're not doing that.
Ciao. And listen, this is the exact reason why I ditched my Facebook with 21,000 followers, because once everybody started getting monetized, it's like I even lost sight of me building my own brand. Like by that time I had already done graphic design, I had already been into Forex, you know what I'm saying, got scammed by them, you know what I'm saying. So there was certain things that I had already been doing, and I was already growing my Facebook organically. And so, but once I got monetized, I was like, all right. And then I kind of switched up, because I started getting into those Facebook groups to try to help the purpose of, I thought, you know, in hindsight, I was doing it to help me with what I was trying to do, grow my following and help me with my monetization to make more money. And the more people you're connected to, you know, the more they feel your post, they can share your post. And I'm like, okay, again, like the guy said, I'm here, I'm going to support you, I'm going to like your stuff, I'm going to share your stuff, let's get it, let's go. But I started to notice people wouldn't be reciprocating. They would say they were done, they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Then my following kept growing. I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this. But it was like the same trajectory anyway, because again, I had already organically been growing my following. I had reached 10K, 18K without, you know what I'm saying, the Facebook groups and all of that. But that was my biggest downfall, because and then also just, I feel like the spirit of success, like a lot of people, a lot of monitoring spirits, when they see that on you, they just want to watch. Okay, they don't want to be a part of it, but they just want to watch. And so I posted plenty of times, I feel like I have a lot of monitoring spirits because I'm also an empath. I'm very sensitive to energy, even especially on the internet. And so I let them know, if you're not here to support me, you can go. But the thing with monitoring spirits is that hate, that ego, those lower vibrational emotions, that defeats the purpose of them being a monitoring spirit. Why would I go? Why would I leave? I'm here to monitor you. And so with 21,000 followers, I'm like, you know what? Y'all got that. Y'all got that. But eventually, maybe one day I will. And the same with Instagram. I have a lot of people from, high school that I don't even talk to, that didn't like me then, and I'm damn sure don't like me now. Probably very much so confused on my glow up, you know what I'm saying? And it's just they want to monitor. You know what I mean? And then on my end, it's like there ain't never been no beef, there ain't never been, but we just ain't aligned. And so for both of those platforms, one day I just feel like I'm gonna have to go on there incognito and just block and delete a whole bunch of people in order for me to feel comfortable on my own shit. So that's where I'm at with it. So yeah, you can experience monitoring spirits in real life and on the internet. So be careful.
Y'all, we are approaching a new year. Watch out for monitoring spirit. And if you have them around you, get rid of them. I am literally in my robe about to give y'all the tea, so get ready. This is a quick, surefire way to spot a monitoring spirit. First of all, how they speak to you, the most obvious thing. They say things like, oh my gosh, girl, remember that one time you did something super embarrassing and I'm gonna keep on reminding you every time I see that you have gained some confidence? Are you sure you can afford that? Because you couldn't pay your rent like 7 months ago and I'm gonna keep reminding you that you couldn't pay your rent because I feel insecure about my finances. Oh my gosh, yeah, I did see your social media, even though I'm not gonna like or share or comment or support you in any way. These people do not like you, okay? But let me tell you one thing, they're going to keep you around. They are going to attempt to stay in your life no matter what the cost, because they want to monitor you. They want to watch you and take notes on your every move. When I tell you guys you need to learn to keep your circle small, I'm not joking. Don't tell these people your plans no matter how much you want to, because they're going to ask you questions. Monitoring spirits will always ask you questions, but you're going to notice that they don't give up any information themselves. These kinds of friends don't know if they want to hate you or be you. And it doesn't stop at friends, it can be family too. Am I telling you to hold hate in your heart for these people? Definitely not. What I am telling you to do is be discerning. As always, make sure you like and follow and comment down below if you want a part 2 expounding a little deeper into this.
This is the number one clue that will tell you that someone is just a monitoring spirit and is not your friend. If you have discernment, you get the sense that they are always here to inspect, not to connect. They always want to inspect. They always want to know what's going on with you, always digging for information, but they don't want to connect. You just don't feel that genuine connection. And oftentimes they won't reveal anything significant about themselves. They will just reveal shallow things. That's when you know it's a monitoring spirit. The Bible talks about discerning of spirits because it's very important. Now, some people are just nosy and they're not necessarily a monitoring spirit. Use discernment to know if the Holy Spirit is telling you to not share some information. Do not share it. Because some people, even if they don't have bad intentions, the enemy can still use them. So it's not about being paranoid, but it's about listening to the Holy Spirit. And don't be so quick to volunteer information. And ask God to give you more wisdom, because we always need more wisdom. If this resonated, type amen. Follow for more.
Amen. Amen. Heavy on the no genuine connection. Oh my goodness. It's like, what are we even doing here? Like, and it's like the older I got, the more I craved that. And like I said in one of my other videos, my fiance was like one of the first connections that I had to where we actually, like, divulged vulnerable information, and I was able to actually come out and tell him how I feel when I feel without him projecting onto me and stuff like that. And it's just like, my own friends never gave me that environment, and even family, you know what I'm saying, sometimes. So just really waking up to lack of discernment that I had, and then also like having to make those changes because of that, right?
If I cut you off with no explanation, it's probably because I thought you were a monitoring spirit. That's just a true tea. And if you want reasons why I thought you were a monitoring spirit, here you go. You never supported me out loud. You never supported me out loud, and that's a red flag to me. Now, I understand that when you are taking risk or you are doing something different, strangers are more likely to support you than your friends and family. That's just something you have to get over when you are a risk taker. I'm over that hump. But see, where the red flags start flagging is when we are in communications. I'm talking about we're talking on the phone, we're texting, and you're telling me you see what I'm doing, but there's no proof of that to the outside world. I appreciate you texting me, I see you, keep going, you doing a good job. But I also would appreciate it if you would have reposted that motherfucking video. If you would have shared it. If you would have boosted my engagement by commenting that under the video that you told me you saw. So my first thought is either A, this bitch talking about me behind my back, and that's why you don't want nobody to see you supporting me out loud. Or B, you're just monitoring my progress, but you're not actually trying to help me progress. You see, sometimes monitoring spirits, they stick around just to see if you make it. But I don't actually want you to make it, because if I did, I would help you do that by supporting you out loud. Still, the friendship felt one-sided. So I had a friend, and we had a mutual friend who I was no longer friends with. And I noticed that every time there were pivotal moments in this friend's life, like their graduation, their birthday, just throwing a powwow, they always chose the mutual friend over me. Now, at first it didn't bother me, because I'll be in my own bubble anyways. But after the second or third event, and they're like, I didn't invite you because I knew you would be okay. I'm like, this started to hurt my feelings a little bit. As an Aquarian, he wear it well, but that doesn't mean it's not heavy. To me, that is a huge red flag when your friend is never including you in pivotal moments in their life. You see, a lot of times monitoring spirits are literally just monitoring you. They don't actually include you in their life. They're not actually invested in you. They're just invested in watching you. And that's exactly why I had to cut you the off.
Peace. Wish you the best. Man, if you ever seen a monitoring spirit or someone with a attachment, when they glitch, when they get the glitch and they get real mad, ooh, it's scary.
Dependable, dependable God. It doesn't matter what comes.
Amen.
So how's your dating life going? It isn't. You haven't been on any dates? No. Met anybody? No. Are you even on dating apps? No. Plan on getting on dating apps? No. So you're just happy being single? No. Do you have a will to live? No.
Like, for real, legit. I'm on my way up out of here.
When a monitoring spirit doesn't know what you have going on, they don't know what to attack. And the reason why I say this is because in Nehemiah, right, he was trying to rebuild the city. And so while he was rebuilding the city, everything was going fine. Everything was going smoothly. But the moment his enemies heard that he was trying to rebuild the city, they tried to hinder it, right? So sometimes a monitoring spirit will ask, what are you up to? Where are you going? What are your plans? And the reason why they ask this is because they need as much information as possible so they know what to attack. So if you find that whenever you tell someone your plans or whenever you tell people your plans, all of a sudden it falls through, or if you find that whenever you tell people or you give people an update of your life and all of a sudden it becomes chaotic, that might be a monitoring spirit.
I saw this video and a girl was like, if you keep up with them, you have become a monitoring spirit. And I was like, and it made me think about all the times somebody in my life, whether it be a guy I had something with or a friend that screwed me over, that I would dwell on that particular person and like what they had going on after hurting me in any capacity. Meanwhile, I have become the very thing that I don't want in my life. Like we have to protect ourselves. We have to put on the full armor of God every morning so we can rebuke these monitoring spirits that are sent our way. Meanwhile, you're over here being a whole ass monitoring spirit yourself over someone I can assure you God removed for a reason. I watched a sermon this week and the pastor basically said, they may have you blocked and you cannot reach them, but trust that God has a plan for them and you don't need to worry about it because the plan had nothing to do with you. And I was like, oh, I've been getting called out so much this week. You can't fix people. You can't fix people. You can't show people your value by pretending on social media, and you keeping up with someone that was removed by God himself out of your life is doing nothing but blocking your own blessings, and you have become a monitoring spirit. If I could personally go back and just like understand all of this now, I would have never, but like it's all part of the journey. So if you are currently in a situation where you cannot stop keeping up with that person, I'm here to remind you, you got to stop keeping up with that person. It's doing nothing for you. And in fact, you're becoming the very thing the enemy sends to you. I saw one girl say, some girl commented on the girl's video and was like, I don't care, I'm going to stay stalking them. And I'm just like, ugh. Because I've been there, like, I get it. Like, sometimes you can't even help yourself. You're just like, what are they doing? Who are they with? What they got going on after hurting me? Like, I get it. But like, if you actually sit back and think like, God removed that person for a reason and is working on them in his own way and has nothing to do with you and will never have anything to do with you, maybe you look at it a little differently. And also, if you have the urge to stalk someone, because close friends could be monitoring spirits too. Don't get it twisted, because a lot of videos I've been seeing on this have been about someone you've physically been with, a lover. And I'm like, no, monitoring spirits can also be friends. But if you have the urge to continue to look on somebody's page, to stalk them, to put yourself in the position to give them the energy in which you should be pouring into yourself so God can bless you and guide you in the right direction, that there's some type of stronghold between you two that you need to talk to God about. You need to renounce that stronghold so you can no longer want to be a monitoring spirit. Like, just stop and think about that for a second. If you go and look on someone's page that hurt you, whether it's a friend or a lover, you are a monitoring spirit. Like, that's all. Like, no. And I think about how many times in the past I was a monitoring spirit, girl, and then you wonder why your life is just like not going anywhere. They're not for you. I know it sucks to hear, but they're not for you. And God gotta work on them himself. Let him do his thing. And you just move on with your life.
Child, I did that to my ex a little bit, so I can understand. But when it came to like friends, I was older when I finally made the decision to like cut off certain friends, like the ones that meant the most to me. Because like I said, at one point in time, I was like, no new friends, you know what I'm saying? No, 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 no. But girl, that's exactly what you're being led, called to do. So do what you got to do. And I had to realize that with everything, you know what I mean? And yeah, just have grace for yourself. You know, sometimes it happens. And a lot of the times it is due to that pain, that trauma. And then also like from you projecting how you feel, your heart onto other people, onto these relationships, onto these dynamics, like really feeling like, okay, we were friends, like we really had a bond. I thought you still have to get out of that mindset of what you thought it was, right? And you have to get acquainted with the truth of the matter. You have to get acquainted with where God is, what God is telling you, the truth of the matter, and where is God leading me to? What am I supposed to do with this information? How do I integrate this information so that I can move onward and upward? Because when you are literally just sitting there watching somebody, you're holding your own energy back from moving on. You are actually giving them your power, and it's hurting you in the process, because it's like all you want to do is raise your own blood pressure. Why would you want to do that?
I don't know who need to hear this, but that's not your friend. That is a monitoring spirit. Whether they're trying to mimic you or monitor you in order to figure out how to sabotage your life, that person is not your friend. Now you might ask, how do you know if they're a monitoring spirit? They're only interested in your drama. They'll talk to you for hours and hours about your problems and what's going wrong in your life. But the conversations always seem to get cut short when you're talking about how you're being blessed and the positives in your life. These friends are never really there when you need them. They're only there when it benefits them. Monitoring spirits will bait you into telling them everything that's going on in your life. But I promise you, they will be very vague when it comes to talking about what's going on in theirs. And let me be very clear, in this day and age, you don't even need to become a friend to be a monitoring spirit. You could just monitor through social media. When those views don't match those likes, and they tell you congratulations or happy birthday in your inbox instead of on your timeline, when they see you and they mention something that you posted, but oddly, they did not interact with it, did not engage with it, but they know you posted it. But they interacted with that negative post though. When you posted about your significant other cheating on you or some other messy drama, they was engaging then. All monitoring spirits. These days, you literally just have to stay prayed up and out the way.
Peace. You feel what I'm saying?
The easiest way to tell if someone is a monitoring spirit is if all they do is ask you questions. How? Where? When? Who? Okay, how'd you do that? Girl, volunteer some information about yourself. Flip it back to them. And if they flip it back to you, they're just here to monitor. I'm just saying.
Yes, and then at that, when you're asking all the questions, making statements, and you don't have no type of input, again, there needs to be some type of support. Okay, I'm happy for you, I'm proud of you, acknowledgement about what you're doing, and instead of just asking questions. And then also, like, what do you have to add to the conversation? What do you have to add to the goal? What do you have to add, you know what I'm saying, to motivate my life? What are you adding to my life other than sitting here asking all them questions, making statements, and assuming?
I don't care what nobody say. Instagram is full of monitoring spirits. I swear to God. Them people over there, they don't react to nothing. They don't like nothing. They don't comment on nothing. They don't swipe up on nothing. Like, what is you here for? Like, I understand, like, everybody that I follow, I probably don't interact with them. But I feel like it'd be the same couple of people that follow me. Like, it'd be the same people that's always commenting, liking, and reacting when I have 10,000 followers. Like, they just be watching. They don't even say shit. That's why I barely even be on there. Like, I like TikTok better because I feel like it's more diverse. Like, we're all strangers, so it's like we don't personally know each other. We just see a video, comment, and then scroll. I feel like Instagram is more of like people that you went to school with, people that you grew up with, so it's just like a little bit weird. But I love TikTok down because y'all really be on here interacting and responding and liking. Instagram people, they do not do that, honey. They will watch your shit, for years and not say nothing. Like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like a little bit weird.
They is so fake bougie on Instagram. I just can't take it. That's why I really like TikTok so much better, because Instagram is just so fake. Even the way people post on Instagram is fake. You go to somebody's TikTok, the algorithm, their page is completely different. I guarantee you, completely different, way more authentic than when you go over to their Instagram. Everything's curated, okay? So then they feel like they can't like something unless it's curated, unless it's photoshopped, unless it's whatever. Perfect. It's weird. But you want to know another thing I noticed on TikTok, and I like that TikTok tells you who looks at your page, because I have seen some old friends, not necessarily old friends, but people from my hometown and stuff like that, who I used to have on Meta and things like that. And I've blocked a few people because I felt like they were monitoring spirits, especially, yeah, people that I used to know or that knew me when I was a child or whatever the case is. And if you're not liking the content, if you're just, if I literally just keep seeing notifications, so-and-so look at your profile, but you never like my content, you never comment on my content, you never repost my content, and you've never done it on any platform. Now, come on now.
Let me talk to you about a few red flags about not just a monitoring spirit, but a dangerously, deeply disturbed person who has the spirit. I posted something on here recently about monitoring spirits, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper into just how important it is to pick up on these behaviors and these spirits, because they can have a very lasting impact on your life. About 12 years ago, I worked with someone who had a monitoring spirit, has a monitoring spirit on her. She still is monitoring me. A good chance she's watching this video right now, right along with you. In her mind, I have both hurt her, and I'm also an amazing person. I am both a sisterly, filled with love and light person who she just adores, and I'm also someone who has hurt her and betrayed her. All of this is happening in her mind, and I think that she is deeply unwell. I've been very reticent to even make a video about this. I've made one other video on here about the fact that I was being cyber stalked. It's the same person. It's the same person. And I didn't want to make this video because I didn't want to give her that energy and that focus. But I'm going to do it because I want to tell other people, especially women, because this was someone who I worked with and I thought befriended, how this can show up in your day-to-day. And it's a situation that nearly made me want to pull back from getting to know women. That's how much it was disturbing, and that's how much it impacted me, because I allowed this person to be in my life, in my personal space. I allowed her to meet my baby at the time. She was a baby. And looking back on it, it was a huge mistake, and there were so many red flags. This person would keep tabs on me, or make an attempt to, okay? I had just moved to this new city. She had moved there shortly thereafter, and as someone who is always trying to give help and tips and tricks and share my experience, I had shared information about what I had done during my move. Well, she moved into the exact same apartment that I did. That in and of itself, not a big deal, right? What was important to notice, though, was that she would keep tabs on me, or make an attempt to. And like, let's say I went to Target and came back with Target bags. I would get a text or a phone call like, oh, what'd you get me at Target? What? Right? It's giving single black female is what it's giving. Because what are you doing? Why are you monitoring what I'm doing, or where I'm going, or who I'm going with? The other thing that I noticed, she would make little biting comments, little things that were sneak disses. In my former attempt, in my former life as a people pleaser, I was always like, oh, well, be the diplomat. Not going to call it out. I'm not going to make that get me all, off my footing. I would just kind of roll with it. But looking back, that was her showing her resentment for me. And even today, that shows up as resentment. She's done things in an attempt to hurt me, in an attempt to make me look bad or feel bad, or to just harass me. And rather than give her that energy, I have been trying to ignore it, but it doesn't work. So I may as well put this out there for other people to hopefully avoid having a situation like this. Ultimately, like I said, I think this person is deeply unwell and I wish that they would get help. But in the meantime, I'm just going to have to take care of myself and my child and my family, because after 12 years of this kind of behavior, there's nothing that I can do. I can't assume it wouldn't escalate. So at this point, at this stage of my life, especially with the things that this person has done, give you an example. I received a letter in this last year from her brother that stated that she had died. She's not dead. She's not. It's just more like fuel to hopefully like push. I don't know what the end game is. Again, deeply unwell, so I can't read into what the goals are there. But those are the kinds of behaviors, right? I got this letter that she had passed away, and then I get cards that are saying, you know, how amazing you are and you're so wonderful. And then I get emails and posts online about how I'm a terrible person and how I just act like I'm nice. First of all, if anybody knows me, I never say I'm nice. I'm the opposite of nice, whatever that is. Kind, yes. Nice, not over here. But it's come to the point where I just have to be resigned to the fact that this person is not going to go away anytime soon. And whether I make a video about her antics or not, she's not going to stop. So I may as well share so that there's a record of it beyond what I've already had with the police and sheriff department here. And also that there's a recognition for other people who may be going through this or could avoid going through this by what I share, okay? I'm at the point where I know if I ever see this woman again, it will not be an accident, okay? If I ever see her again, it will be because she knew where I was going to be and she decided to show up there. And I'm going to have to assume it was not for good reasons. There's no way I can assume that. I can't assume that if I ever see her in person again, that it wasn't on purpose and that it's not for nefarious reasons. Because after 12 years, what are you doing? Go on with your life. Move on. And if you have someone in your life who has a monitoring spirit like this, please separate yourself. Do not allow them to continue to create blurred lines between you and them, because that's what they'll do. They will do and say things in an attempt to mirror you. They'll do and say things in an attempt to mask who they really are, right? Don't allow it. You know, you feel it in your gut. I felt it in my gut for the whole time. And I was trying to be kind. Don't. She's right. I'm not nice. And I hope she remembers that.
That part, go play where it's safe, ho. But yeah, these people be very sick-minded, sick in the head, sick in the heart, don't have no soul, okay? And they want to attach themselves to you. They become literally parasites, some of them, right? Some monitoring spirits, they just sit back, they just monitor, they just, you know what I'm saying, do what they do. But when you deal with people like that, who are willing to smear campaign you, willing to get on your social media under fake accounts, lie on you. I done had somebody come, I believe it might have been an ex, but it might have been my best friend at the time, okay? Because he was there when all of that was going on, and when I talked about it, when I would talk about anything, he would just be there to listen, never adding anything to the conversation. It would monitoring, literally. And then one thing about my situation with that, when I also, like she said, I moved to Texas. I helped him move to Texas, like giving him information about where I was living, stuff like that. And he eventually moved down here. And one thing about monitoring spirits, they also are energy vampires. They will drain your energy. That is the purpose. A lot of them, they're not just monitoring you just to monitor you. They have some type of, they're inspired by you. They're motivated by you. But those lower vibrational energies don't allow for them to integrate that in the proper way, in the proper manner. Okay, mixed with their mental illness. Okay, so they don't understand that, so they will do things that are harmful to themselves and to you in an attempt to one up you, become you, be better than you because of their own perceived inadequacies or actual inadequacies. Let's be for real. But yeah, and so when he moved down here, I was helping him. I was, you know, he even stayed with me and my fiance. He was just my boyfriend at the time for a few days, or it was like a week or two or something like that. And yeah, just really helping him, you know, transition and stuff. And then my energy started to be draining, and eventually we became homeless. And I'm not saying that it was particularly his fault, because me and my boyfriend, we did, you know, we were slacking off at the time. I literally just had my baby, but I was super drained. And I was always, again, that person that if I needed a resource, or if I knew a friend of mine needed a resource, I was going to give it to you. I was going to be the one to help you. But when it came to me needing resources, needing information, oh no, I'm just a monitoring spirit. I'm here to gain information about you. I'm here to run and tell that information and just continue to watch your life fall apart or be what it is. So you have to be very careful, especially with people who are mentally ill on top of having a monitoring spirit, because yeah, I can't even imagine.
How to spot a monitoring spirit in somebody. What is a monitoring spirit? These are spirits that monitor you in the spirit realm, or spirits that monitor you through other people to keep you from prospering, to focus on what it is you're doing, to try to stop you from prospering in life, to stop you to have some blessings to come through. Notice anytime you begin to tell your plans, it just never work out. Because what's happening is a lot of these people you're telling them to, they're monitoring spirits, and they speak curses over you behind your back to prevent you from prospering in life. Our words hold power. So when people are gossiping about you, when people are doubting you, it's sending those things off into the spirit realm. And this is why it be so hard to get things done, to achieve things, for blessings to come in. Because we being loose-lipped, telling people we shouldn't even be telling stuff to, and they going behind our back talking about us doing whatever, and we wondering why we can't you know, excel. And notice whenever you start to get more quiet, you start to get more stuff done. That's because those monitoring spirits don't really know what's going on. They can only guess. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of things you want to look for into somebody that's that could be a monitoring spirit. One, they will disguise bad advice as good advice. You'll have an idea, you'll know that this is a good idea, and you know it's gonna work. But they'll give you bad advice disguised as good advice. They'll say, I don't know about that, because if you do that, this could probably happen. So what they trying to do is, they know that plan gonna work, but they trying to plant doubt in you, so you don't, you see what I'm saying? So you don't take on this idea and start to prosper. So that monitoring spirit will start using them. You see what I'm saying? So that's what they'll do. They'll disguise bad advice as good advice. Second thing that they'll do, they hate when you prosper. Whenever you have good news, whenever you have any form of accomplishment going on in your life, they do not like to see it. They don't like to see it. I'm talking about, you can say, I just graduated, or I just got a promotion at my job, and they got something slick to say. You see what I'm saying? Or they got something, you know, they be like, they try to downplay it, like, oh, well, you know, it's just a promotion. It's not like you own the company. You see what I'm saying? So you got to really pay close attention to who you talking to and who you telling stuff, and their reaction to what it is that's, you know, going on in your life. And number three, they love to see you down. Now, these people, man, they love to see you down, but they'll come to you as a friend, somebody to comfort you. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you down, anytime you're going through something, they have this false empathy. Oh, it's okay, dog. Oh, it's okay, girl. It's gonna be all right. But low key, they get a kick out of it. You know what I'm saying? They feed off of that, because they like to see you down, and they probably feel more validated when you're not prospering in life. You know what I'm saying? For whatever insecurity or whatever jealous issue that they have with you. So that's something you want to be real mindful of, because a lot of people do this. Another thing, man, they gotta know what you got going on in your life. They are nosy. They always asking questions. They asking questions and they nosy, and they don't even got your genuine interest. That is a monitoring spirit, like tattletale on itself. It's clear as day. If somebody want to know what you got going on in your life, they always got to know, and they always asking questions, but they ain't got your genuine interest. Best believe they just trying to be nosy, so they can know it. So they look at your life as entertainment. What they gonna do is they just gonna go behind your back, speak curses, gossip, do whatever the case may be, and that stuff gonna start moving in the spirit. You see what I'm saying? And these people tend to get upset when you're not being transparent with them about what you got going on. So they feel offended when you withholding certain stuff. You see what I'm saying? So these people will feel entitled to information from you. They'll feel entitled, you know, to have certain parts of you or whatnot. That's a man, that's a monitoring spirit. But those are the things you want to look for. So stop telling everybody your plans. Keep it between you, God, and the people that are genuinely for you. You see what I'm saying? But that's why y'all seeing that pattern to where it's hard for you to prosper, because we being too loose-lipped. We talking too much. Keep it to yourself. Keep it between you and God. And when God, it's gonna reveal itself. You see what I'm saying? So you don't even gotta much talk about it, but don't be giving the enemy ammunition due to us just being loose-lipped, thinking we can trust these people. So watch out for people. Look at their reactions. How they reacting to the good things that's going on in your life, and you know what it is that's feeding them. Because a lot of people, they just y'all friend because they like to see you down and provide this fake comfort so they can feel better about themselves, so they can feel like they in some type of superiority position. You know what I'm saying? But I know this video helps somebody. Make sure y'all take notes, and high beams on, man. And man, slow to speak. Quick to listen, slow to speak.
Heavy on it, and I thank God for the gift of discernment. I thank God for helping me with my discernment. I thank God for the deliverance, because when I let go of my ex-best friend, I pretty much let him know, because he started to get super entitled to my life, my relationship, just everything about me. But he's always been entitled to my energy like that. That was one thing about me, because I, even since a young person, I've attracted like broken souls, okay, people who just had a lot of trauma. And that's not to say I didn't have trauma, but I was working through my traumas. I've always been working through my traumas. I've always been doing my shadow work, okay, essentially holding myself accountable and really just having certain realizations. And again, I thank my relationship with God for that. That's why you have to be connected to God. You have to be connected just to the spirit. You got to pray about situations, even as a baby, as a child. You gotta really like know these things. But nevertheless, like before I blocked him and before I, you know, deleted him on all my social medias, it was just like, you're not entitled to this information. You're not entitled to anything that I have going on in life. And I'm sorry if me being a people pleaser and just, you know, knowing you since a child made you feel like you were, but that's not what the fuck it is, and that's not what the fuck it's gonna be. And now that I know better, I'm finna do better, so watch this. You feel what I'm saying?
You're not me. I told you this before. Told you this before. You are not me, so you can't do what I do.
And I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. They talking about you. If you was wondering if they talking about you, with you starting that new business, with you posting your content, with you talking about what God gonna do, if you're wondering if they talking about you, the answer is yes. And I'm gonna add this on top, because maybe you being delusional and saying, oh, well, they talking about me in a good way. No, they're probably talking about you in a negative way. Not gonna lie. But the good part is, at least they're talking. Because the thing is, we don't like when people talk about us, especially if we think they're talking about us in a negative way. But sometimes we fail to realize that that's just a setup for God. God loves to make a scene. Like, that's just the type of God that we serve. He loves to make a scene. So the thing is, all publicity is good publicity. That's what a PR will tell you. That if they talk about you in a negative way, they talking about you in a positive way. Either way, both day you get paid, right? Either way, they talking about you. Either way, you're the topic of discussion. So sometimes God will allow people to talk about you in a negative way to get other people to talk about you. Think about when they crucified Jesus. To get other people to talk about you and what you couldn't do and how you gonna fail and why she's trying to be a content creator. Nobody gonna follow her. Nobody gonna subscribe to her. Whoever they talking about you to, they finna start looking at your content to see, what you mean she a content creator now? That's two people following you right there. While they're following you, while they're talking about you and planning and praying on your downfall, before you know it, God will send a blessing in just to prove a point to them. And it came out of nowhere. You didn't even expect it. They didn't even expect it. But you know why they see it? Because they was talking about you. They was talking about you, and it started off in a negative way. But I want to remind you to keep your eyes set on God. You keep doing what God has called you to do. You keep your eyes locked in on whatever promise God has given you, and let them talk about you. Because the more they talk about you, the more people come to view what you're doing, and the more people that's going to be able to witness and experience the blessing that God is going to release in your life. He could just be waiting till the crowd get big enough. God loves putting on a show, so let them talk. But you keep doing what God has called you to do. You keep posting your content with 2 likes. You keep posting your YouTube videos with 3 views. You keep posting it. Keep letting them talk about you, because the more they talk, the more crowd they build, and the more people that will witness and experience the goodness of God. It's a setup. It's a setup. So don't let what people have to say stop you from experiencing the favor that God has on your life, because you're worried about them talking about you. Let them talk and let God do the responding.
God going to show up and show out every single time, bigger and better than anybody could ever imagine. Because we make plans for ourselves and God be cracking up. Oh, that's what you want? I'm finna double it. I'm finna triple it. I'm finna give it to you tenfold. Yeah, that's why you just have to, a lot of the times you just have to release. You have to detach. Learn the art of detachment. That's really something that I had to learn. For a long time, And as I started to gain more discernment, I started to realize, oh, these people think I'm a joke. They're mocking me. They have a lot of people behind the scenes that don't even know me, but they know of me because of certain people that I was around who were pretending to be friends, but were actually monitoring spirits, pretending to be my support system, but were actually monitoring spirits sent by the devil to try to thwart the plans of God, right? But I had to stay prayed up. I had to keep my eyes set on the sparrow. Okay? Continue to allow myself to be led. And my only problem was being that helpful spirit, being a child of God, trying to help people, but they were actually monitoring spirits. So I'm thinking that I'm being led to help. And yeah, I'm being led to help. I'm being led. You are usually being led to help, you know, be charitable, be all those things, kind. That's what a child of God is. But you got to use discernment in terms of who you're doing that for. Do they want to share with you? Do they even want to see you with what you have? So we gotta be very careful about those things. But as you continue to move up and out, if you have monitoring spirits in your life currently, do the work that is being required of you right now to move yourself away so you can live on your highest timeline, and so that your blessings and your favor can be protected. And with no monitoring spirits and no hateration and holleration in the dancery, you owe it to yourself. And God finna show up and show out.
Some people will be mad that you don't look like what you've been through and will want you to look like you're suffering. And let me tell you, of all the things I've been through, it'll never fucking happen.
That part, y'all. And so for the monitoring spirits, when they continue to monitor you after you done already cut them off, after you done blocked them, they're going to go make fake pages. They're still talking about you. They're still worried about you. They're showing themselves to be incognito, showing themselves to be a monitoring spirit with a demonic attachment to them. Yeah, all of that. And you're going to continue to be blessed, and you're not going to look like anything that you've been through or maybe going through currently. So yeah, you guys, that is the video. I wish you guys the best. Protect your energy, protect your vibes, okay? Protect everything that is you, because you are valuable. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.